First off, just hats off to the Spurs. Again, that's why you tank. That's why you don't win a playoff series for almost a decade. It was their first playoff series win in 9 years. That's why you don't make the playoffs intentionally for 6 years. That's why the NBA has a massive, massive tanking problem. That's why they're coming up with these new rules that disincentivizes teams in the top or bottom three. Basically, if you finish in the bottom three, according to the Shams report, Shams, however you say it, the deal is if you finish in the bottom three, you actually don't have the best odds to land the number one pick. So they're going to great lengths to make sure that tanking doesn't work. But guess what? The Spurs already beat it because the Spurs already tanked. They got Dylan Harper and Carter Bryant in the lotto last year. They got Steph Castle at the 4th overall pick the year before that. Ouch, Houston Rockets with the Reed Shepherd pick. That's got to hurt. And then year before that, obviously some guy from France is who they were able to take number 1 overall, while the Blazers got Scoot Henderson at number 3, one ping pong ball away. Couple things here. I think the Spurs have no problem winning this series even without Wemby. The only game they lost was game 2. He played for a bit, then got injured. Obviously, Scoot Henderson, to his credit, goes off in that game, 31 points on the road, 5 of 9 from 3, best game of his career by a mile. And the Spurs were kind of just stunned in real time because they were like, oh my God, our guy, our anchor, our defensive anchor is out. And ironically, the Blazers actually didn't really victimize them at the rim a ton in that game. It was really their three-point shot that was incredible in that game. Again, particularly Scoot with 5 threes, and his three-point shot has gotten better, about 35% three-point shooter. I'll do a Scoot thing later on. I still don't see it. I don't know. I don't see it, but we can get to that later on. I guess in general, just like first off, hats off to the Spurs. They got, kind of unlucky to lose that game. Obviously, Wemby concusses himself by tripping himself on a spin move, bangs his head, and is just not able to finish the game, and then is out again for game 3. And really, going back to Portland, no Wemby, game 3, Friday night at Moda Center. Like, to be fair to the Blazers, that's about as good as you could have asked for in this series. Tied 1-1 going back to Portland. Again, they got very lucky that Wemby concussed himself, but to Scoot's credit, he played very well in game 2, 31 points, 5 threes. Whole team really did. And you're going, damn, like you're going back to Portland tied at 1. And then not only did you go back to Portland tied at 1 with no Wemby, you're up 82-67 in the third, if I'm not mistaken, if that was game 3. They were up double digits in game 3 in the second half. And then Steph Castle goes berserk for 33. Dylan Harper goes berserk for 29. Him and Scoot are going at it, and Dylan Harper certainly gets the best of Scoot, as he did that night and in this series. And that kind of was where the series felt like it ended, when the Blazers had a shot. Then they get kind of blown out in game 4. And tonight it was like, this is just 1-2-3 Cancun. Like, the Blazers look like they want to be in Cancun. It was 12-2 in like 45 seconds, it felt like. The Spurs pretty much throttled Portland. Then to Portland's credit, they do kind of fight and scrape back, get back within 9 in the fourth quarter, but they were down 20 most of the game. It was a lot of, they were technically back in it, but it was, against backups at times. It was Portland's backups coming in and providing new energy, Krejci and Sissoko and some other guys. And you're going, all right, well, I guess it's back within 9, but then Wemby turned it up and the Spurs turned it up. Dude, that block that Wemby had with like 3 minutes left on Avdia, where he comes over and helps from the weak side and just kind of like volleyball spikes it, almost like grabs it and throws it. He caught it 12 feet above the ground, probably. It was a couple feet above the rim. It was kind of a floater, Avdia, typical 8-foot, 10-foot floater. He spiked it like he was playing high school volleyball on a mini hoop. It was insane. That block was insane. I know we say a lot of things about Wemby. There's something new every night. That was really one of the crazier blocks I've seen in basketball in quite some time. Steph Castle fouls out, gets teed up. Obviously, Avdia was getting under the skin. The Spurs fans were really feeling themselves tonight, too. They were screaming at the refs, even up 20. They clearly hate Denny. I was actually at the game in San Antonio when Denny hit the game-winning 3 over the Spurs. Wemby didn't play in that game. But the Spurs fans clearly hate him. And a lot of teams do, too. Like, you see Denny driving the lane, and you're like, God damn it, this is going to hurt. There was a play where Vassell tonight literally kind of football shouldered him, like thudded, like straight up spring football style thud. Instead of he didn't even try to play defense. He was literally like, I'm gonna kind of half tackle this guy and see what happens, because I don't even care. He's gonna get free throws here. He's turboing into me. Nicknamed Turbo for a reason. He's turboing into me. I guess I'll just take it and hurt him in the process and get him to the free throw line, which is a good strategy because he's a wildly inconsistent free throw shooter. Denny on the night, 22 points. 7 of 15 from the field, 1 of 6 from 3, 7 of 11 from the line. Blazers as a team, 11 of 47 from 3. Tough night for Drew Holiday, 8 points in 40 minutes, 3 of 14 shooting. He's been largely fantastic this postseason, though. Scoot Henderson, 5 points in 17 minutes. Shaden, 5 points in 6 minutes. Again, like I mentioned, Sissoko kind of came on 20 minutes off the bench, 11 points. There's basically your scoring. Donovan Clingan with 10, Tumani with 7, Jeremy Grant with 12, Rob Williams with 11, some putback specials. Tease Thibault with some decent defensive minutes. Again, 1 of 6, 0 of 5 from 3. It's not good on offense, but definitely a good defender. As for the Spurs, 19 from Champagny. Man, he had 11 quickly in the game. Again, all this guy does is shoot flat-footed threes, and he's great at it. He's absolutely great at it, but that's basically all he does. His 1-2 tonight, his foot was like on the line. 6 of 9 overall, 5 of 7 from 3. He was basically 6 of 8 from 3. Finished with 19. Like, I don't get it. I don't understand how teams don't understand that that's literally all he does is shoot flat-footed threes either from the corner or the wing. I know they run him off screens sometimes. He had one play where he caught a ball off a screen, catch and shoot, hit it, and good for him. If you do that, then you can kind of live with that. But, dude, if you just let him catch wide-open passes and shoot wide-open threes flat-footed, he's literally going to shoot 5 for 7 every night. He's an incredible, incredible, incredible shooter, but that's all he does. Clearly the Blazers scouting report not good enough there tonight. Wemby, 17 and 14. De'Aaron Fox with 21. I think he only had 5 going into the fourth quarter, I want to say. Vassell with 10. Steph Castle with 15. There's just a lot to break down here. I mean, again, like I said, first of all, just hats off to the Spurs in general. Like, they tanked for a reason, and the tank was successful. Yes, they got insanely lucky getting Wemby in that one draft. Even if they didn't have Wemby, I still think they win this series. Like, the one game they lost, Wemby played in the first quarter. I still think, obviously they end up winning game 3. Game 3 that Friday nighter in Portland. That was the crucial one of the series. No Wemby. And then Steph Castle and Dylan Harper go berserk. Because, dude, that's the thing about the Spurs. They have so much depth, man. Like, if it's not Wemby's night, it's Castle and Harper. If it's not either of those nights, it's De'Aaron and Vassell. Champagny can shoot. Carter Bryant can shoot. Like, they have so much depth, man. Keldon Johnson's 6th man of the year. Like, dude, you could take 2 players off their team, and all that would happen was that Steph Castle would go from averaging 15 or 16 to 20, and De'Aaron Fox would average 24 or whatever, and Wemby would average a couple points more. Like, they just have so much depth, man. So much depth. So many good NBA players. And their cheat code is that their best players, basically, are all really, really young. Wemby, really young, 22. It's nuts. Steph Castle, obviously second-year player. Dylan Harper, first-year player. De'Aaron Fox is the one guy on a big deal. I did a bunch of contract research here. Let me break it down for you. De'Aaron Fox, man. So he got traded. To go through the trade again, traded to the Spurs in February of 25 for Zach LaVine, C.D. Sissoko, who turned into a Blazer, who was out there on the floor tonight, played 20 minutes, a Charlotte first-round pick. This is what the Kings are getting. LaVine, Sissoko, Charlotte first-round pick, so that may have been good. 2027 Spurs pick, that, if I understand picks correctly, that's not going to be a good pick at all. 2031 Minnesota first-round pick, that won't be good either. And 3 second-round picks. Bulls receive Zach Collins, big drip, shout-out. Trey Jones, Kevin Huerter, a.k.a. Red Velvet, who I think was playing pretty decent for them, and a 2025 first-round pick. And then the Spurs get De'Aaron Fox and Jordan McLaughlin. Hand up, I don't know who Jordan McLaughlin is. He sounds like a Beaver. Was that? There's no way that's Jordan McLaughlin from Morgan State, is it? Oh no, that's that guy, the bald guy with the beard. 5'11", 30-year-old. Went to USC. Okay. Anyways, 2 points a game this year. Basically didn't play. I know who that is. He was on their bench tonight. Okay. Anyways, that was the trade. De'Aaron Fox's contract now, so they signed him to a contract extension. Obviously, he got a big deal from the Kings after his rookie deal ran out. But then his extension, so he's making $40 this year. He's making $49.5 next year. He's making 53 in 27, 57 in 28, and 61 in 29. Holy crap. By the time he's 32, he'll have made 409 M's. 409 M's in NBA contracts. That's insane. So that is their cheat code. He's obviously a very good player. By the way, didn't do a ton in the first 3 games of the series. Went off in games 4 and 5, 28 and 21. Didn't do like a ton. And by the way, is a traffic cone on defense. Very clearly the Blazers game plan was like, let's hunt De'Aaron Fox, Champagnie, at times Castle, at times Harper, although, it seems like Castle and Harper are going to be really good defenders. Castle's 6'6", 220, man. And that's the other thing I also have in my notes. Why is Steph Castle so good? I'm going to get to that in a second, just like breaking it down, other than the fact that he's 21 and he already averages like 16, 7, and 6. And he's 6'6", 220 with a nasty vert. But that's my point, is like, that is the Spurs cheat code, is that all of their best players, for the most part, are young, so they can give De'Aaron that ridiculous deal for another 3 or 4 years, and it doesn't burn them at all. Now, the Wemby contract, let's get to that. So he signed a 4-year, $55 million rookie deal. By the way, he reportedly, and I don't know how accurate this is, but he reportedly signed a 10-year, $750 million deal with Nike. Okay, that is some good chat. So he is extension eligible for a max this offseason, rookie max. 5 years, $252 million he could sign this summer. The deal could reach $303 million if he hits All-NBA and Defensive Player of the Year. And he went ahead and did that, at least Defensive Player of the Year. I'm sure he made All-NBA as well. I would have to go back and check that, depending on how many games he missed in the 65-game rule and all that. But whatever the incentives are, he's obviously going to get anywhere from $250 to $300 million this offseason in a 5-year extension. And even that isn't like the max. It's not like the Devin Booker level bird rights when you're 7 years in. Like the team, you all know what I'm talking about, who really know the contract side of hoops. When you're a player, a franchise player drafted by that franchise, and it's your next contract beyond your rookie extension, that's when you get like don't get me wrong, 5 years, 250 is mega bucks, but he's going to be eligible for something ridiculous that's going to pay him in the 70s someday, which is just gross. But he's not there yet, and he'll sign anywhere from $250 to $300 million this offseason. So that's why the Spurs are so good. It's all their players are really young, and so they can add in an all-star level player like De'Aaron Fox. Okay, here's the other thing about the Spurs. Besides, like, all of their depth is insane. They tanked to perfection and hit on the draft picks. Steph Castle is him. Obviously, Wemby's him. Obviously, Dylan Harper turns out to be him. Carter Bryant, amazing 3 and D guy off the bench. For the record, it felt like Carter Bryant didn't even play tonight. Did he actually play tonight? He probably played a little bit. Let me see. Did he just randomly play a ton and I missed it? I don't think so, right? Yeah, he played 1 minute. Carter Bryant played 1 minute tonight. He was just chilling. And he, like, at times is a total difference maker. Dude, they just have an embarrassment of riches off their bench, man. I haven't even mentioned Luke Cornett, who's been big for them at times. That was the other thing I was going to say. I'll get to the Steph Castle thing in a second. The Spurs are extremely likable, in my opinion. Other than one of the worst dudes in the league, Kelly Olynyk, who intentionally broke Kevin Love's shoulder in the playoffs when he played for the Celtics. Never forget. Kelly Olynyk, without question, one of the dirtiest dudes in the league. He's not Zaza bad, but he's up there. It's pretty bad. And so Kelly Olynyk is one of the worst dudes in the league for sure. Besides him, the Spurs are awesome. Like, how can you not love Wemby? Steph Castle is sick. Like, just nasty vert, nasty athleticism, 6'6", 220, grown man's strength and size as a 21-year-old. Jump shot still developing. He's like a 33% three-point shooter. You're not really fearing him taking a three. I mean, you have to respect it, kind of, but you're not fearing it. But he just gets downhill and he makes plays. And that was my other note. And we're going to get to the Blazers and Scoot stuff here. So what makes, like it's pretty clear, and again, this is a tough comparison, a really, really tough comparison, but you have all these young guards playing in this series, right? You have Scoot, who's 22. You have Steph Castle, who's 21. You have Dylan Harper, who's like 20. He's a rookie, came out after his freshman year at Rutgers. And then you have De'Aaron Fox, who's 28. He's an elder statesman, but let's just talk those four guards. Obviously, three of them very young. Like, Scoot is a distant fourth in that conversation. I'm going to get to the Scoot thing in a second, but as far as Steph Castle being good, because like I was like asking myself, like just watching him hoop, it's awesome to watch him hoop. Obviously I remember him at UConn and he's been really good for the Spurs. Like, what makes him so good? Because it's not a deadly 3-point shot. It's not insane Kyrie level handles. It's not crazy range that he'll hit that makes you fear him. It's his raw playmaking mixed with his athleticism, mixed with his just insane confidence. And I don't know if that's Dan Hurley, Jersey City. I don't know if that's Dan Hurley, who should get a lot of credit for it, probably should get some, but he's got that like, F you, I'm better than you, I'm more confident. Like, in this series, his first playoff games ever, obviously, like, he could have been not scared, but he could have been like, oh man, like I guess I'm young, I'm learning here. Instead, he was like, Denny Avdia, F you. Like, Drew Holiday, respect. You could see the kind of mutual respect he had for Drew for sure, but he was like, I'm swatting that shit. I'm getting in there and I'm jumping and I'm mixing it up and I'm being physical and I'm swatting that shit. And it was same with Dylan Harper, like fearless intensity, and then also the playmaking, man. 16 points. Let me get his averages. 16 points, 7 assists, and 5 rebounds are his averages this year. So he averages 7 assists a game, man. That's playmaking, and that's the difference between him and Scoot, dude. Scoot, I mean, there's actually a lot of differences between him and Scoot, but stats wise and just playmaking wise, like Scoot is 6'3", and I get it. You want Drew and Denny to be your pseudo point guards, but he doesn't really make plays for anyone else. And again, I think some of that is the coaching staff of the Blazers being like, all right, let's lighten the load on Scoot. Let's have Drew and Denny run point. We just want Scoot out there hooping. Like, don't think too much. Use your athleticism. Play hard on defense. I really respect Scoot's ability to play hard on defense. He'll make some really good defensive plays at times, and he definitely brings the energy on that side of the floor. He's improved his jump shot, no doubt about that. But you're like, where's kind of like that next level of making your team better? Like, when you're on the floor, things become easier for other people around you, and it just doesn't feel like that with Scoot. It just kind of feels like, and Shaden, there's just kind of like a disconnect from the team. It's like, you could tell Drew and Denny were trying. They make the team a little better. Scoot and Shaden, you're like, they're just kind of out there hooping, man. Like, where's the? And it is also a larger problem with the Blazers. Is like, where's the offensive connectivity as a whole? But you're like, dude, where's the team getting better with you out there? And again, sometimes defensive plays for sure with Scoot. But with Castle, it's like, oh damn, this insane athlete with this ridiculous vert who's got strength and confidence and playmaking is out there, and he makes his teammates better. And a lot of it is that he can bully his way to the rack because he's 6'6", 220 and plays like a grown man. Because again, you're not fearing his jump shot at 33% from three. Like, he'll definitely hit threes, but you're not like, oh my God, close out in a hurry. But he just bullies his way, and he's a playmaker. And I was just thinking to myself to that anyway, Stein, I was like, oh, what makes it, like, because he's clearly special, but what makes this dude special? And I think a lot of it is just beyond his athleticism, which is certainly top tier for NBA standards even. It's just his like confidence and his playmaking, and it's sick to watch, man. He makes his teammates better. Those are kind of my final notes on the Spurs. Again, I think they're very likable. Mitch Johnson, Stanford guy, played with the Lopez twins back in the day and has been an assistant there for a while. Likable coach, not yelling at people like Pop did. Shout out to one of the OGs, but it's a tough listen at the pressers and the sideline reports and all that. Mitch Johnson doesn't do any of that BS. Cornette, likable. Wemby, likable. Castle, Harper, De'Aaron, they're all likable. De'Aaron was chirping a little bit because De'Aaron, you can score on him pretty easy if you're a good scorer, and the Blazers were doing that, and he was getting pissed. So he was getting a little mouthy, but besides that, I mean, we all know what it is. So anyways, yeah, besides Kelly Olynyk, very, very rootable team. And you know what? I mean, I would not be like now that I sit here and just watch this, and again, like not to overreact to a Blazers team that was, fortunate enough to make it to the playoffs, but wouldn't be surprised at all if the Spurs won the title. They would have won this in 5 even without Wemby. I'm extremely confident in saying that due to their depth, and it shows that the Blazers are a long way away, and it shows that the Spurs, I mean, they're a 62-win team for a reason, and Wemby missed plenty of time. Like, dude, they can absolutely win the title. Like, we all saw them beat the Thunder, was it 2 or 3 times in the first couple months of the season, and kind of get everyone's attention. And that'd be an epic conference finals, man. They're going to play the winner of the Nuggets T-Wolves, but that would be an epic conference finals. They absolutely can win the title. I would say that they're, I guess, just to me, my opinion, pretty clearly either the best or second best team in the league right now. The Eastern Conference is wild. The Magic up 3-1 on the Pistons. No one knows what's going on in the East. The Celtics just lost at home to the Sixers with a chance to close things out, and instead they let Embiid dominate. The Celtics don't really have any big men. I was thinking about that. It's like they got either 77 or 88. Those are their 2 big men. Like, they don't have any big men out there. So, yeah, Embiid's going to feast, and any big they play is going to feast. And when the three's not going in, it doesn't look great for the Celtics. So, they're only up 3-2. But, again, that three-point shot goes in more often than it doesn't for them, it would seem. So, they can definitely, obviously, win the title with that recipe. To me, they're very clearly the second best, or the best team in the East, and probably the best shot to knock off either the Spurs or the Thunder.